What's up YouTube? How are you doing today? In this video, we're going to be checking out the Vanatoo Transparent 1 Encore powered speakers, and we're going to get into it right after the jump. And I'm back. Now, first things first, I want to thank Vanatoo for sending these speakers in for review. Thank you guys so much. Let's get into it, shall we? The Transparent 1 Encores, or T1Es for short, are self-powered speakers coming in at $599. On the front, we have a 1-inch aluminum dome tweeter and a 5¼ inch aluminum driver. The speakers are powered with Class D amplifiers, 2 amplifiers at 100 watts for woofers, and 2 amplifiers at 20 watts for the tweeters. On the back, there is a large bass radiator on both of the speakers. Since the T1Es are sealed, they use a bass radiator instead of a port, which actually gives some great results. On the back of one of the speakers, we just have the port for the speaker input, and on the other speaker, we have the control panel with volume, bass, and treble knobs. We also get plenty of I/O, including USB for computer connections, digital optical and coax inputs, analog input via 3.5mm jack, and a subwoofer out RCA. The subwoofer RCA is auto sensing and will cross over the speakers at 80 or 120 Hz depending on which DSP mode you have selected. Vanatoo supplies all the cables you need to get up and running, along with the remote control and speaker grills. But for me, I like the look of the T1Es without the grills. They look pretty sexy. To get these powered on, we just plug in the speaker cable from one speaker to the other, plug in power, and connect a Bluetooth device. Now that's all you have to do to get the speaker pumping. There is a ton of bass with these speakers due to Vanatoo's clear bass technology. I took them with me to work when practicing my drum machine performance. I was preparing for the show in Long Beach. These speakers are small but hefty and put out a lot of sound. I like the portability factor as I did move these around, and the handle on the top of the box was a huge help in this endeavor. To switch between DSP modes, you'll have to download the PDF from their website, as there are some steps in doing so using the volume, bass, treble knobs, and the left and right selector switch. For instance, to set up the flat DSP mode, you will need to turn the power off, set the volume to min, set the treble to mid, set the bass to min, and select R for the right speaker. Next, you press and hold down the pairing program button and turn on the power. Once the blue LED is illuminated, release the pair program button and the blue LED will flash 3 times telling you that a new configuration was set. It might seem a little complicated, but it's pretty easy to do, and Vanatoo supplies you with all kinds of different customizable features for the T1Es. Just download the PDF from their website, follow the instructions, and you're good to go. Now I know what you're probably going to say, Technodad, how do they sound? They sound great. Not only did I listen to a lot of music like demo music, as I stated before, I was preparing for a drum machine performance that I did at the show in Long Beach. Now, if you want to see what the performance is, go ahead and check the link in the description or the card up top. When listening to music and using my drum machine, I was very impressed with the bass. It was there, it was punchy, it was tight, and I didn't have any kind of issues with chuffing because there's no port. The mids and highs were crystal clear, and I enjoyed listening to tons of music on these speakers. Now, if you're wondering what music I used, I made a playlist on both Tidal and Spotify. They're the same playlist, whichever service you guys have. I'll put a link to the playlist down in the description, but basically it's about a 3-hour playlist that runs through all kinds of great music to demo speakers and headphones, of course. What I liked about the T1Es is that I can actually change the bass and treble. You have tone controls, ladies and gentlemen. Tone controls are very important. Having tone controls is huge because some recordings lack bass. Some recordings, have too much treble and it's too bright and it's too harsh. So being able to just fine tune those things on the speaker is fantastic. Loved it. I'm glad Vanatoo decided to put those in. Now, I am really impressed with the sound quality and sound output from these T1Es. I think these would go great as a desktop speaker in a bedroom, a small office, or maybe a computer table in a larger room. Now, they do have an optical input, so you can connect a TV, but I wouldn't do that in my living room, as my living room is over 4,000 cubic feet and it's just not going to be enough. However, if I have these in my bedroom to connect to a TV like a Samsung, a Sony, or an LG, that would greatly enhance my TV watching and enjoyment in my bedroom. As we all know, TV speakers kind of suck, and these Vanatoo T1Es at $599 are a great alternative to a soundbar. Alright, it's time for the comparison. I know you guys are going to ask me, how do these compare to other powered speakers in the price range? And instead of just answering in the comments like over and over the same thing, I might as well put it in the video. Now you guys know that I reviewed the 6s by Klipsch, Dynaudio XEO2s, and the SVS Prime wireless speaker system. Now they're all pretty much in the same price range. The Dynaudios are $799 last time I checked, but I think the Klipsch and the SVS are both $599 for the pair. Now as far as the Klipsch, the 6s, and the Vanatoos, I think the T1Es are a little bit different purpose than the Klipsch, the 6s. Now the 6s are huge. That's why I say, like, they are really huge. If I wanted to use the 6s flanking my TV in my living room, no problem, because they are huge. And I would never put the 6s on a desktop flanking my laptop just because they're just too big. Like, it takes up way too much space. So to me, purpose-wise, they're kind of different. One is good for desktop speakers, the Vanatoos, and the Klipsch, the 6s are just not good for that purpose. I mean, they can be, but you would really need a large desk. So like the Klipsch, the 6s would be good for a medium to large size room, whereas the Vanatoos are great for a small to medium size room. Now comparing them to the Dynaudio XEO2, I think the Vanatoos perform better with low-end bass extension because they don't have a port. The XEO2 does have a port, and the way they designed it, it kind of faces down. And we do get a lot of chuffing sound when I was, just throwing kick drums from the drum machine through there, and I was getting a lot of port noise that I wasn't getting on the Vanatoos due to the bass radiators. Now moving over to the SVS Prime wireless speaker system, I would hands down take the Vanatoos over the SVS due to the larger driver in the Vanatoo. The smaller driver in the SVS just doesn't give you enough oomph, enough punch, enough bass, whereas the 5¼ inch driver and the bass radiator on the Vanatoos really just fills out the bottom end and gives you like a speaker that's just more versatile than the SVS Prime wireless speaker. So if you're looking for powered speakers in the $600 price point for a home office or bedroom or small desktop space, you should definitely put the transparent one Encores on your short list. Equipped with a great amount of power and onboard DSP, these speakers do not disappoint. If you want to check them out, I put a link down in the description, and of course a big shout out and thank you goes to Vanatoo for sending these over for me to review. Thank you so much. Any questions you might have, put them down in the comments or hit me up on whatever social or email, whatever you like to use. It's all good. And that's pretty much it for this video. If you liked it, go ahead, smash that like button, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel using the button in the middle of your screen. Once again, my name is Chana D. I'm your Techno Dad, and I'll see you next time.